Why are we so quick to dismiss the negative stories around the takeover, yet we're more than happy to hold on to the words of every positive article as if it's absolute concrete certainty this takeover is happening? So over the past few weeks I've noticed a developing trend with this takeover, and it's this. More and more people across social media appear to dismiss any story that casts doubt on whether the takeover will happen. Let's be honest, there's no shortage of these articles, and people have become fatigued with the whole cycle of takeover news, even to the point where you can pretty confidently predict what's going to happen on each day of the week. This pattern breeds scepticism. However, why is it any better if the article is a positive one? Shouldn't we be equally sceptical of those articles as well? But here's the other thing I've noticed. The growing number of people who reject the negative stories out of hand are then more than happy to cling on to the positive stories from the same publications that give hope that the takeover will still happen as if it's an absolute truth. Think about that. People are happy to dismiss anything negative, yet believe anything positive. That is quite a powerful spell the media are holding over a large quantity of our support. For example, just this weekend we've had a story about Richard Masters, the head of the Premier League, allegedly meeting representatives from beIN Sports, aka the Qataris. The theory being that they were simply ironing out the piracy and TV rights issues with some form of happy compromise between the Qataris and the Saudis, and therefore sealing the takeover. So, why are we so keen to accept the positive almost without question and yet reject the negative, again without any question? I guess it comes down to human nature. Most of us want Ashley gone, almost at any cost, and we've been ready to celebrate for a couple of months now. Every time we have cold water poured on the story, it puts fear into us. We get worried that history's going to repeat itself and we'll be stuck with Ashley forever, or at least another season. Every time we hear something positive, we feel the opposite. It reaffirms our feelings of hope and that everything is going to work out in the end. But it's probably not healthy to live that way. Negative stories clearly back up the fear of being stuck with Ashley, and so it's understandable as human beings that we don't want to believe them. We want to reject them. As I say, the cycle's been predictable. Everyone's desperately trying to get their own information, presumably to keep the hope burning that things are still progressing as we all want them to and that the takeover is going to happen. It's completely understandable. It is fair to say, after weeks and weeks of these negative stories which haven't turned out to be true, at least not yet anyway, maybe it just feels easier to dismiss them all. And as the positive articles are few and far between, then maybe that's why we're more inclined to believe them. But for us fans who just want to hear positive news that this takeover succeeded, all this negative press isn't good for us. I really think we have to keep in mind the truth that negative stories make more money than positive ones, which is why the negatives outweigh the positives. My advice is simple: ignore it all, positive and negative, and just wait for the announcement. Because one day it will come, and it'll either be heart-crushingly devastating, or it'll be time to crack open those cans. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. That will help me massively, and I will see you really soon for another video.